Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakorash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and taught us this truth, the sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom. This article here, it says, possibly hostile alien threat detected in unknown interstellar object, a shocking new study claims. You see, and for the past few years, we've been getting a lot more of these so-called UFO sightings and, testimonies from the military and, everyday people, even police officers were given handouts on how to deal with a so-called alien. You see? Now, the people of this world don't understand what these objects in the sky are. They don't understand because they're in the dark. You see, they have not, the glorious light of the gospel, of the truth of these scriptures has not shone upon these people. So they don't know. They're confused. They're scared. They got all these theories. They say it's little green men, it's aliens from outer space, which the word alien just means foreigner. Okay, don't have to mean, a big-headed, green, short, little, big-eyed creature from another planet. Okay? That's not at all what it is, man. The scriptures tell us what these objects, these vehicles are, man. These are the chariots of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, which the word chariot just means a vehicle. Okay? Now, the prophets of old, when they saw these chariots of fire in the sky, they described them as chariots of fire. Vehicles of fire, because they glow, they orbs, they fly up, down, left, right very quickly. Okay, how would you describe that if you've never even seen a car or plane? All right. But anyway, this article says a mysterious intergalactic object could potentially be a hostile alien spacecraft that's slated to attack our planet in November, according to a controversial new study by a small group of scientists. Now, where are they getting that idea from, huh? Is it possible because they've been listening to the prophets, and how we've been saying how this is how we're going to get saved from this empire, from this wicked-ass kingdom called America and Babylon the Great. Okay, we're going to get saved out of here by getting abducted by a chariot of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai or a so-called UFO. Okay, that's what the scriptures tell us. Okay, it says the Lord is going to come back on one of those vehicles, and so are all the angels. Okay, in the midst of America getting destroyed in the Third World War, right, we're going to be getting beamed up out of here in those spaceships, man. So, is that why, these devils say that by November the aliens are going to come attack, right? Is that when they're planning to enforce or mandate the MOTB? Because, if these elites have a brain between their ears, maybe they'll be reading the scriptures, or maybe they'll hire their team of scholars to tell them, yeah, it's true. The prophets are right. Yes, there's going to be a mark, and then after the mark is mandatory, then their God is going to come back and destroy this place. And he's coming back in what we call UFOs. That's what I would imagine the conversation would be with these group of knuckleheads, man. All right? And the elite are no knuckleheads, man. But, I'm having a little fun with it because, at the same time, they're wise when it comes to wickedness, man. All right? But they cannot run a society properly, as I've showed you in many other videos, how this devil is unprofitable. All right? Very unprofitable. And that's why this age has to end for the good of all humanity and all life on earth. This devil Esau has to be taken out of rulership. Okay? So they're saying here that in November, these aliens, so-called, are coming to attack. Now, we know there's no such thing as aliens, man. All right? Those vehicles are the chariots of the Lord. So Yahweh Shai and the angels, they use those vehicles to get around. Okay? So if these devils are saying that they're coming in November, they don't know when the Lord is coming back. The scriptures say that no man knoweth the day nor the hour. Okay? But is it possible that these elites are planning to mandate the MOTB before November? I say it's very possible. You know, the elder apostle Tahar coined this year the hopeful year of the judgment and destruction of Esau and the deliverance of the hopeful elect. Okay? Or the deliverance of the elect out of Babylon. And of course, the remnant worldwide. Right? So this is the hopeful year of the destruction and the deliverance, man. So it's very possible that these devils mandate the MOTB. I mean, they already passed the crypto bill, right? The Genius Act or bill, whatever they call it. Okay? Where they got stable coins now, and they're going to be, very soon, they're going to be rolled out. So you're going to be using cryptocurrency now to pay for things. And we know they're going to phase out cash. They're already in that process. They did away with pennies and soon nickels. Okay? And, you know, your card, you know, all they got to do is put that chip in your hand or in your forehead, right? With Neuralink, the brain chip, Synchron, the brain chip, right? And now you can buy or sell using those coins. Okay, so the system is ready. The system is ready. The MOTB has already been here for a long time. We're not waiting on no MOTB. It's already here. It's already here. It ain't mandatory yet, but it's here. Now, the payment system, the software, the infrastructure is here. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for these elites to have their puppets announce that it's mandatory. That's it. And we're out of here, man. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is coming very soon, man. These devils are looking, man. Yahweh Shai is ready, man. Yahweh Shai is just waiting for the order from Yahweh, the Heavenly Father. And he's going to come in here, like one article said, all guns blazing, baby. You see, they said, oh, the aliens, they might be coming all guns blazing. And I read that article. I was like, yeah, you're right. They are coming all guns blazing, man. Yahweh Shai and the angels are coming all guns blazing, man. You better be afraid, man. But there ain't nothing that anybody's going to do to help you, man. You could convince your military that it's aliens. You convince the whole world to fight and buck up against Yahweh Shai, and it ain't going to work. You see? They call halal, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. Look up, Akim, because our salvation draweth nigh. All right? Let's keep it going. It says, according to a controversial new study by a small group of scientists, the consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could potentially be dire for humanity. The researchers wrote in the inflammatory paper, which was published July 16th to the preprint server AirXIV, Southwest News Service reported. Look at that. That's beautiful, man. A call halal, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. That is fantastic. Look at that right there. It says, Comet 3 I, Atlas, streaks across a dense star field in this image, captured by the Gemini North Telescope's Gemini Multi-Object Spectrograph. Is that the chariot that they talking about? Boom, that's huge, man. You see? I think that's what they talking about. I mean, that's the only thing I see that looks out of the ordinary. Yeah, it's not like you got 10 stars of different colors all lined up next to each other. That's definitely a so-called UFO. How they so confident they coming in November? Are you devils planning something soon? Shit, you better hurry up. It says the interstellar entity, dubbed 3I Atlas, the interstellar entity was discovered on July 1st, rocketing toward the sun at more than 130,000 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. It says Live Science reported less than 24 hours later, it was confirmed to be an interstellar object with initial observations suggesting that it could be a comet that measures up to 15 miles in diameter, larger than Manhattan. However, in the new paper, the trio of researchers suggested that it might be a piece of extraterrestrial spy technology in disguise. One of the researchers, Avi Loeb, a prominent Harvard astrophysicist known for linking extraterrestrial objects to alien life, previously made waves after floating the theory that 2017 interstellar object Oumuamua could be an artificial recon probe sent by alien civilization based on its odd shape and acceleration. In this study, which he collaborated on, yada yada yada, the trio felt the object's speed, which was significantly faster than Oumuamua and other objects, and the fact that it... What the fuck? Anyway, Salakia. People's... What the fuck? Anyway. And the fact that it entered our solar system from a different angle than its predecessors offer various benefits to an extraterrestrial intelligence, Lloyd wrote in a blog post. Yeah, so they saying they spying on us. It's very possible, that the Lord sent the angels to look, because, those are the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But, the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai are here on earth too. These UFOs, you can see them in the sky. Okay? But, Yahushai is ready, man. All right, these devils are seeing things. They scared. They freaking out. All right? It says when the so-called undercover UFO reaches its closest to the sun in late November, it will be concealed from Earth's view. This could be intentional to avoid detailed observations from Earth-based telescopes when the object is brightest or when gadgets are sent to Earth from that hidden vantage point. If this anomaly is a technological artifact, this could support the dark forest hypothesis, which argues we haven't found signs of extraterrestrial entities because they are remaining undercover to shield themselves from predators or prey. Loeb warns this could suggest that an attack is likely and would possibly require defensive measures to be undertaken. Look at that, man. That's definitely a chariot. You see? It says the problem is that 3I Atlas is traveling too fast for an Earth-based spacecraft to intercept it before it exits the solar system. It is therefore impractical for Earthlings to land on 3I Atlas at closest approach by boarding chemical rockets, since our best rocket reached at most a third of that speed. See? Because Esau's trinkets can't match Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's technology, man. It says, however, other scientists have thrown cold water on the so-called alien origins of the object, which they believe is a comet. Yeah, it's always a comet, whatever, We know what it is, Esau. There's too much video evidence and too much testimony, especially from the military. Don't y'all believe your own military? You see? They always want to pretend like it's a ghost or something. Like, oh, it's not real. When Esau's own science, according to his own science, and his own evolution bullshit theories, if that shit is true, then the whole universe should be filled with aliens. All right, according to his bullshit theories, which we know are false, and we know there's no aliens. So Esau is purposely lying about this and acting like, it's no aliens, it's just a comet, this, that, and the third, okay? But what's coming is Yahweh shining angels to conquer this world and to put all dominions under his feet, all right? And, The Lord, this is all in the scriptures, man. Let's go ahead and get into it real quick. This is Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. So the prophet Zechariah looked up and saw a flying roll in the sky, man. The same way we may look up nowadays, or these telescopes look up and see what? So-called flying saucers, man. Or cigar-shaped spacecrafts. The Tic Tac UFOs, you can see plenty of videos on those. All right, so this ain't nothing new. The prophets of old saw it. It's Zechariah 5:2. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Okay, and that's going to be Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. He stole our people, put them into slavery. All right, the scriptures talk about, this term stealeth is going into, when you steal somebody, when you kidnap somebody. All right, usually to put them in slavery. Okay, for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. And we know that the Esau, Edom, he swears falsely by the Lord. He has you go to court and put your hand on the Bible, right? And when the president, goes into office, he puts his hand on the Bible. But they don't believe in the Bible. They don't believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So why do they swear, right? Because they're false. They're liars, man. Okay? It says, I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. Right? Who's the thief? The devil cometh but to steal, kill, and to destroy. Right? That's what they did. They stole this land from the natives. All right? They killed our people, genocided a good amount of them, put them in slavery. All right? They swear falsely. It says, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house. Right? It shall remain in the midst of his house. You see? That's why these chariots never leave America. America has the most UFO sightings out of any country in the world. Why is that? Because this is the house of the thief. You see? And it shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. All right? You see? This is 2 Kings 6:15. And when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? Right? So the servant of the man of God, the man of the Most High, he rose up and he saw a great army surrounding them. And he was afraid. And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. That's right, man. Them chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, those are the armies of the Lord, man. The scripture says Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name, man. We ain't got nothing to be afraid about. Soon this devil's going to come down with great wrath. But guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and his angels are ready. All right? And they will be lifting up a standard, man. And you're going to see things you've never seen before, man. Our people are going to be given those spiritual powers, man. Like gods. Esau's technology stands no match. All right, this is verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man. You see, so he was, he was outside, but he couldn't see the chariots until Yahweh opened his eyes, man. Just like right now, you could look up and you might just see stars, but there's actually chariots there. You just can't see them until Yahweh opened the eyes, man. All right, these chariots, they could be right here in front of you, man. The Lord may even have miniature chariots that could go inside of rooms and houses. Nobody's going to see them unless it's the Lord's will for you to see them, man. All right? And these devils really think they're going to be able to predict it and fight back, Now, the scriptures say they will try, but we all know how that's going to end. All right, they're not going to stand no match against Yahweh Shai. All right, it says, and Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. You see, so that's the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto Yahweh and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. You see, that's spiritual power right there. All right? He asked the Lord to smite this army with blindness, man, and they were made blind. How much more in these times that we're coming into when we're going to need that standard? The end of the age, man, right before Yahweh shall return, when the elect has been raised up, you know, it's at the end of this age, like graduation, like we're pretty much ready. You know, we're going to get beamed up into the chariots, just like Elijah was beamed up, man. He was just beamed up before us. All right? But, you know, all the elect is going to get beamed up into those chariots, man. Lord's will, I be of the elect. You know, Lord's will, all you brothers and sisters, be of the elect. All right? We're going to see the downfall of our enemy, Esau, man. All right? But yeah, that's all that I wanted to go into as far as the precepts there. But yeah, man, you see the Lord is giving us signs. Every day we turn on the news, the Lord is giving us faith, okay, in order to continue this fight, the good fight of faith, man. All right? So I pray that lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect, giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Awashai, Ba'ashem Rachakwarash, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth, and Shalom. Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.